15 days left till the election. People are discussing about the possibility of Joe Rogan and who's going to appear on that podcast. Is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be Kamala Harris? Trump has said that he would like to do it.
One that I would love to see you on is, I think Joe Rogan has to have you on.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Oh, sure I would.
I think Joe, besides us, Joe's
I think I'm doing it, actually.
Yeah? So you are going to do Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I am.
PBD, Pat Bet, David thinks it's a 99% chance.
Oh, let me. Musk said it's going to happen. Trump said it's going to happen. If Joe doesn't do it, he will have a lot of backlash on how it'll happen. I don't think it's going to.
I agree with you.
99% chance.
You're there, 99.
So let's recap for a moment some of the most interesting podcasts that we've seen in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So many are describing the interview with Andrew Schultz as Trump's best interview ever. What's really interesting with those guys were able to go longer than anyone else has.
They say you have an hour, you probably have around 45 minutes.
Yes.
We ended up going for an hour and a half because he was having a really fun time, and his team was telling us we got to wrap it up, and I would look at them, and then I would just look away.
They set it up to where they were just going to go and ignore anyone else in the room except Trump.
I told Dove in the beginning of the thing, I go, Dove?
Yeah.
We are going to keep going until Donald Trump tells us this interview is over. Okay? He's the man in charge.
Yeah. They were able to get the team, everyone in the room, to put their phones on airplane mode. And then they avoided eye contact.
Dove is so smart. He could have sat on the side with the Trump team. He goes to the other side so they can't talk to him. And then he does this. Before we start, he goes, everybody put your phone on airplane mode. Oh, now, I didn't pick it up in the beginning, right?
Genius.
The airplane mode is, you were texting me?
They can't text him, wrap it up.
And they knew that those people would be standing there, would not interrupt the podcast or else suffer the wrath of Trump, right? Interrupting the interview. And so they just avoided eye contact and just did not look. And you would never know that they were standing there the whole time. They're just locked in, and they handled it very well.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
You know, I asked him, and I wasn't.
Oh, you're not telling him he's got time
I said,
now.
Give him a little more time. What the hell? Can I override Alex? I don't know. Yeah. Unlike Biden, he can't. I can. I can.
How do we know this? Because the following podcast, they came out and they talked about it. They talked about their entire thought process of how they were able to do this, how they were able to keep going for longer. And Trump was having a good time, so he went for an hour and a half.
They say you have an hour, you probably have around 45 minutes.
Yes.
We ended up going for an hour and a half because he was having a really fun time, and his team was telling us we got to wrap it up, and I would look at them, and then I would just look away.
Yeah.
They weren't going to walk into the interview.
We saw another side of him. It was more relaxed, humorous. And I think Andrew Schultz was the perfect person for that moment to try and accomplish that. You see him even talking about sensitive topics like the assassination attempt and the people that died, the person who did die at the rally and the people that almost died. And yet they're still able to, which is not a funny topic, but they're still able to approach it with humor right up to that, the way a comedian tiptoes right up to the line and kind of dances right on the line where others will not go. So it was, yes, and we've seen this, like Theo Vaughn, it was a unique interview.
We went to interview Donald Trump, and that was crazy, bro. I'm like, I couldn't even believe that we got to do it.
You know, talking about like his drug addiction and doing drugs with Trump sitting there like, wow, that's some dirty stuff, huh? Like that's.
Yeah.
Can you stay away from it?
Yeah, I've done a good job. I mean,
so how long have you been off?
I go to recovery meetings. I've been off most recently a little over 2 years.
Do you ever go back on?
Yeah, I've had stints where I go back on
and you don't control it?
It's tough. It goes downhill pretty
kidding.
quick.
So
you think it's going to be easy.
You think you're contrling it.
And then you're you're doing your go-kart and racing with hookers and stuff. It gets bad.
So what'd you do? Like, where'd you get the cocaine? Like, it was like, really? Wow, we haven't seen anything like that with Kamala Harris. I can't imagine Kamala in that setting at all.
What was it that made Joe the best?
During COVID, he was very outspoken on all the corruption going on during COVID.
But just one day after this clip came out, new reports surfaced claiming Kamala Harris also intends to appear on the Joe Rogan Experience.
I would like to see it because I want more transparency. I want to see the candidates for who they are and on both sides. So I would love for for her to take the opportunity to go on there. It would be, why not? It would be great. But do I think she will actually do it? No, I don't. I do not. I do not think that she has what it takes to do that for 2+ hours talking to someone like Joe Rogan. I don't think she's interesting enough. I do not think that she's authentic enough. Do not think that she has the will or the way. So who stands to lose more in this scenario? Kamala, Trump, or Joe Rogan? Well, Trump wants it. He's already stated, he would do it. It's pretty clear he would do it. And I think he would nail it. I think Joe Rogan is the one who's hesitant in that scenario.
When you're having Trump on?
I don't know.
Okay. The look,
I don't know. Maybe.
Looks like you got something.
Maybe.
Okay, good. That's good. I think.
So I think the person out of those three who actually stands to lose the most in this strange way is Joe Rogan. It's which you would think would be like, wait a minute, but these would be the biggest podcast of all time. Both of those people, if he could have them both on, that would be the smart play. Why is he hesitant? Okay, first of all, he's been hesitant to endorse Trump or speak about Trump. We've seen that. We've seen the feud between Trump and Joe Rogan. Oh, Joe Rogan's going to get booed at the UFC, though we have footage of them shaking hands. And so why is Joe Rogan so hesitant to do this? I don't know. And that's why I think that it will happen. I think it makes sense. It would be the biggest podcast that's ever occurred.
Joe, I would love to see you do his podcast because he is legit the greatest conversationalist in the world. So what's the story behind the tension?
I don't think there was any tension.
I think what is most likely is that there are already plans on the books to do this. We will not know that it has happened until it has happened, and it will be released in a very precise, strategic manner. And I think Trump's team will wait until the final week push before Election Day. Those 7 days, that's when we would see it drop. So there would be max buzz.
It would be interesting to hear his perspective on a lot of things. I would like to know, what is it like when you actually get into office? I would like to know things like, what is it like versus perception? What is it actually like when you get in that building?
So yeah, I would love to hear what you think. Why do you think that Joe Rogan has been hesitant about this? Why do you think, beyond just, I can understand being hesitant about discussing who you would vote for or endorsing someone. That's different than having someone onto your podcast. You could do that without Andrew Schultz did it very well. Like, his friends sitting on the couch have not openly discussed voting for Trump. One of them took a picture with Trump afterwards, and there was a lot of fallout he got from that. Andrew Schultz, his venue canceled on him right after that. 2 hours after that podcast aired.
Awesome interview, and everybody loved it. And then a day later, Dove was like, oh, by the way, the venue you're going to shoot your special in canceled your shows.
No, damn it.
And he has not publicly endorsed Trump, though he has. You could put two and two together and everything, but my point is that you do not need to endorse someone to have them on. So you could do this in a way that I don't understand the risk there. So you tell me, why do you think Joe Rogan seems to be hesitant about this? It would be the biggest podcast that's ever occurred. It's a natural fit. He could be objective and neutral in this. And he obviously has things that he's hesitant about with Trump, and he could use this as an opportunity to challenge him on those things. In the same way that he has pushed back with many guests. He does it in a very respectful manner, in a logical manner, and that's why people love Joe Rogan's show. He's a smart guy.